the globe, we welcome you back to Humanity First Canada's live global telethon. And for those of you who are joining us now, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Among the programs that Humanity First has to offer, one that is unique to our branch here in Canada is refugee resettlement. The refugee resettlement program tackles the issue of global forced displacement of populations. For those of you who are not aware, due to factors such as war, civil unrest, persecution, and political instability, many people are forced to leave their homes out of fear for their lives. Humanity First works in conjunction with various government entities in order to sponsor a multitude of refugees so that they may lead safe and peaceful lives here in Canada. As we are short on time, I'm going to quickly dig in and introduce our panelists for this segment. Starting from my right is respected Mumtaz Ali Sahib, who serves in the National Department of Ziyafat within the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. Next to him, we have respected Mu'taz Kazak Sahib, who is the professor in Jamia Ahmadiyya Canada. And next to him, we have respected Abdul Hakim Sahib, who actually came here to Canada as a refugee sponsored through Humanity First. So, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to all of you, and thank you for joining us today on this panel. So I'm sure our viewers are looking forward to learning more about the refugee resettlement program. As it is, Humanity First Canada, since the inception of the refugee resettlement program, has sponsored over 6,000 refugee families. So this is a big achievement, and it naturally takes a lot of manpower and work hours to make this all happen. There's various logistics to take care of and various needs of these families to look after in order to make sure that they have settled and integrated properly into the Canadian society. So with that said, I would like to request Mumtaz Sahib to answer the first question. Could you tell our viewers how long you've been serving alongside Humanity First, as well as what exactly does your department entail?
Okay, our department that, as you have introduced, is the Ziyafat department under the National Jamaat Ahmadiyya, headed by Nasir Khan Sahib. So I have been with the department for the last 8 years. I'm serving with this department, including other duties, is a refugee settlement too. And one of the big example here is Mr. Abdul Hakim is one of that family that I have received it and I have helped them to settle down here in Canada. Our job is to receive the families at the airport, meet and greet them, transport them to their residence. That residence has already been arranged for them because we have received the information from Humanity First that so-and-so family is coming here. After that, we help them, what kind of help they need, especially the moral support for the government departments and any other kind of help. We provide them this help for settling down here in Canada. And after that, we also transport them to the government department for their SIN number, for a health card, for the bank account, or for any other need. Whenever they need it, they call us. So we are helping these, and this is a pleasure for me that I have been doing this job for the last 8 years.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Jazakallah for that. In addition to that, and that's such an amazing thing that Humanity First essentially deals with all of the resettlement needs of these families from A to Z. And so from your perspective as a volunteer, how would you say that the lives of these families have been impacted through Humanity First?
Okay, when they come to Canada, because this country is totally new for them. They are not familiar here, how to settle down, how to handle all other difficulties they can face it here. So just like, say, for example, any family who is coming from another country like Thailand, like Malaysia, there they have been staying there for 7 to 8 years. And once they are in Canada, they need the support to stand on their own feet. In that kind, all support is provided to them. Financial support is there, moral support is there. So gradually they keep going and they are becoming familiar with the system here in Canada. and they are start working and they are handling their supporting their families, and by the way they have worked hard, they are growing and growing and growing. And for the example, for the last 5-6 years, I have seen some families came to Canada. Now today they are enjoying their job, they are enjoying their family, they are driving, and they are so happy. They have forgotten everything, whatever kind of difficulties they have faced back home or in a third country.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. And Jazakallah for that. I think this is a very strong point to make, is that it isn't as simple as bringing people from one country to another. It's basically, we're changing their entire lives. They've been in fear of their life, they've been persecuted, and they've been dealing with civil wars for a great many of years. And then they live their lives in fear in a third country where they get their refugee status. And even then, the situation is extremely difficult. They have no rights as refugees. So working, getting an education for their children is a very difficult thing. So it's a very
To speak on it.
If you could explain a bit more on
Right,
this.
right. So I'll give you the example, viewers. Please listen to this. It's a very important. I have been told by a family, they came to Canada after 9 years. They stayed in a third country. And he told me that he was there for the last 9 years where they were not allowed to go and work. And then wherever they were staying, the house has been locked to avoid their arrest from the police. They don't have any light, they don't have any refrigerator, they don't have any kind of fan, because when police can come there and they see, the police see that the electric meter is running, so that means someone is inside the house. So they were making sure that their electric meter is not running. So that was a very hard time for that. So the viewers, please help them. They need a lot of kind of help, financial and other support. So if you can donate generously, please do so.
And I think it goes without saying that this is probably one of those programs that takes a great deal of funds to operate. We hold all this money for the sponsorship of refugees as a trust, in a trust account. Not a single penny can go to any other program. It stays in this trust account, and then it gets used on the sponsorship of refugees. One family takes roughly, one person to be sponsored takes roughly 20,000, a small family about 30,000. So to our viewers who can make this sacrifice, we do appeal to you to do so. It's a life-changing experience, as you've heard from respected Mumtaz Sahib. As I see on, we have a caller who is ready by the name of Shahbaz Ali Sahib. Shahbaz Sahib, are you there? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Shahbaz Sahib? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Shahbaz Sahib, are you there? I can't hear Shahbaz Sahib. Okay, so we'll just move on in the meantime, as we are again short on time. So we'll move on to the next part of this discussion. So we've heard the perspective, the point of view of a volunteer who is serving and helping these families resettle. And you've seen that Mumtaz Sahib himself believes that he has seen this big change happen in their lives, and they're happy, they're at peace. So why don't we take a look at the perspective of someone who's been on the other side? So for that matter, that's why we've called respected Abdul Hakim Sahib. He came to Canada as a refugee. He was sponsored by Humanity First. And so without further ado, I would like you to share a few words for the sake of our Arab-speaking viewers, so that they can understand that, you know, Humanity First sponsors people from a variety of countries. We're going to do this portion in Arabic. So Mumtaz Sahib will be providing the translation for this portion. So I would like to ask the first question to Abdul Hakim Sahib, that how did it feel knowing that you had to leave your homeland?
السؤال الأول السيد عبد الحكيم الخالد. السيد عبد الحكيم ساعدته منظمة الإنسانية أولا للمجيء إلى كندا، وسيكون هذه الأسئلة توجه إليه. السؤال الأول الذي توجه إليه يعني عندما فكرت بأن تخرج من البلد لابد أن يكون هناك شعور خاص بتلك اللحظة. ما هو الشعور، وخاصة أنك ستغادر وستخرج من وطنك الأم؟ كيف كان؟
نعم، لقد كان شعورا يعني مختلفا. أشعر بالحزن الكبير لترك بلدي الأم وعائلتي، أهلي، أقاربي، أصدقائي، كل من هناك وحدهم، وأن تذهب إلى بلد آخر.
So, brother Abdul Hakim Sahib, he said that I find it very difficult, very sad in my heart that how can I move my mother country, and what about my friend, what about my parents, what about my families? So it's very hard for them to leave this country.
Okay, Jazakallah for that. The next question is, Abdul Hakim Saab, where did you stay as a refugee and for how many years? If you can start off with telling us that much.
So السؤال الثاني يعني لما خرجت من بلدك الأم إلى أين توجهت؟ وما هي الفترة التي بقيت فيها في تلك البلد؟
نعم، لقد توجهت إلى لبنان.
أنت من سوريا؟
كنت في سوريا، لقد خرجت من سوريا إلى لبنان، وعشت وبقيت في لبنان لمدة 3 سنوات ونصف.
So brother Abdul Hakim Sahib said he moved from Syria to Lebanon. He stayed in Lebanon for 3 years and a half. So كيف كانت الظروف في لبنان؟
Yeah, how were the conditions in Lebanon?
كانت الظروف بصراحة صعبة كثيرا في لبنان. لقد كنت أعيش مستأجرا كراج للسيارات،
In a
مقسمه
garage.
إلى غرفة ومطبخ، وكنت أعيش بها أنا وعائلتي وأطفالي.
تعمل في نفس المكان
نعم، إنه كراج طويل، وكنت أضع شيئا ساتر بينهم.
So brother Abdul Hakim said in Lebanon because he arranged garage, the garage for job and for sleep. يعني كنت تعمل به وتسكن؟
لا
فقط للسكن.
لا، فقط للسكن.
يعني فقط just for live like a house. So he rented garage.
No.
Yes.
So
It's hard to listen.
that's I've never heard that one before, that somebody had to actually just rent a garage and his entire family living there. I cannot even imagine how difficult that must have been. So how did this impact your family and your children? Just the living situation alone, the financial situation. Additionally, you have to think about your kids' school. How did that turn out over there?
السؤال أن عندما توجهت إلى لبنان كانت هناك ظروف كلاجئ. يعني كيف أثر هذا الأمر على أسرتك، على عائلتك، على أطفالك، من حيث مثلا موضوع التعليم، موضوع المال والأمور الأخرى؟
نعم، لقد كان من الصعب كثيرا موضوع المال، من الصعب كثيرا إيجاد عمل مناسب، وأن تقوم بتكاليف المصروف في لبنان كأجار الكراج أو من غيره، من تأمين الطعام والملابس للصغار، وتأمين التدفئة كان تأمينها صعب جدا. كنت أمشي ل3 كيلومترات لكي آتي بمازوت وآتي إلى المنزل مشيا في الثلج وغيرها. كانت أمور صعبة ماديا ومعنويا. وبالنسبة للمدارس كان من الصعب جدا أن تسجل الأطفال في المدارس، إيجاد مدرسة. وللآن تسجيل الأطفال السوريين في لبنان صعب جدا في المدارس.
So brother Abdul Hakim Sahib said that it's for him it's very hard situation, that for money, for example, for the job, he get money not enough. It's not enough for rent. What about another thing in life, for food, and about the his kids to go to school, he found very hard to record his son, daughter that we put in the school. He says, and still now, the Syrian refugee, they found difficulties on that.
I see. I guess for now, I see that we have the caller is ready again. Mr. Shahbaz Ali Sahib, are you with us? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Shahbaz Sahib. Assalamu alaikum, Shahbaz Sahib, are you here with us? Could we get the speaker running so that we could hear if Shahbaz Sahib is with us right now?
Your call has been forwarded to a voicemail service that has not been initialized by the customer you are calling.
Forget it.
Okay, so we'll move on then, and we'll just wrap up this segment quickly. We just have a couple of more questions to ask. Abdul Hakim Sahib, how did your life change for you and your family after you came to Canada?
So, السؤال يعني بعد أن واجهت كل هذه الصعوبات كيف تغيرت حياتك في كندا بالنسبة لك وبالنسبة لنا؟
الحمد لله تغيرت كثيرا بفضل من الله عز وجل وبفضل الهيومانيتي فيرست الإنسانية أولا. يعني الحمد لله الآن عملي أفضل ومعيشتي في كندا أفضل. وجهونا إلى الطريق الصحيح، تم توجيهنا إلى الطريق الصحيح، والحمد لله بفضل الله تعالى أني أملك بيت الآن، لقد لدي منزلي الخاص.
He said by grace of Allah that the life changed. So he said Alhamdulillah, for example, for the job, he finds job easy here, and the minister help him to find a job. And he said that for example, he have now his own home. That means you can imagine now how the life go on. So the life, Alhamdulillah, is good for his for him, for his family.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. What were some of the challenges you faced? If you could tell us just briefly, what were some of the challenges that you faced coming to Canada?
So now the question, يعني السؤال الآن ما هي بعض التحديات يعني؟ هل يمكن أن تذكر بعض التحديات التي واجهتك عندما وصلت إلى كندا؟
الطقس كان صعبا جدا. الطقس كان صعبا جدا. هنا برد أكثر من هناك، واللغة، العادات والتقاليد كانت في البداية صعبة جدا. الآن الحمد لله كل شيء.
So he said at the beginning he found difficulty for that because for the weather it's cold here. After that
I imagine it's a lot colder here in Canada as opposed to Syria.
And second is important for the language. We found it difficult for the language. And you know, it's for customs and traditions. We find little bit because you know different people. Yeah, he said this in the beginning. هل استمر هذه الأمر؟
الحمد لله.
يعني he says just in the beginning, but after that, nothing.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. I imagine reading from left to right was also a bit challenging as well for you.
لقد كان من الصعب بالنسبة للغة أن تكون متعلم الكتابة من الجهة اليمين إلى اليسار، وأن تأتي يجب أن تكتب من جهة اليسار إلى اليمين.
Yes, he says, you know, it's different between as the style between English and Arabic. So Arabic from right to left, English from left to right.
Acha, mashallah. I'm seeing that Arsalan Sahib wants to donate $100 for Water to Life. Is Arsalan Sahib on the line? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Arsalan Sahib, are you there? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Arsalan Sahib? I cannot hear you, unfortunately. I would love to hear your beautiful voice. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Arsalan Sahib, are you there? Okay. I think we'll just wrap up the segment with the last two, or can we have Arsalan Sahib? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Arsalan Sahib? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Okay, so I think we'll just technical difficulties, they happen. So Jazakallah, Arsalan Sahib, we really do appreciate that you want to donate to the Water for Life program. That is a very amazing thing that you're doing for humanity, and I'm sure that the benefactors will appreciate it greatly, and may Allah bless you and reward you for that. The last two questions. How did humanity first assist you in coming to Canada? If you could just briefly go over that.
يعني السؤال الذي قبل الأخير، كيف ساعدتك منظمة الإنسانية أولاً بميكروفيرس عندما جئت إلى كندا؟ هل ممكن تذكر بعض منهم؟
نعم، لقد استقبلونا في المطار، استقبلونا جيدا في المطار. من أهم الأشياء الذي لم أكن أعرف أحد هنا. بالنسبة لي لم أكن أعرف أي أحد هنا في كندا إلا عن طريق الهومنتي فيرست. واستأجروا لنا بيت، أمنونا في بيت، استأجروا لنا بيت، سجلوا لنا في كرت الصحة، البنك، التأمين للأطفال، ووجدوا لي عمل خلال أسبوعان. أنا كنت أعمل في كندا عن طريق هذه الجمعية. نعم، هذه أهم الأمور التي سوف أذكرها.
He said in the beginning, he come to the country, he don't know anyone here. So when he arrived to the airport, he found people that they said, welcome. So Humanity Affairs send a group to the airport, and the airport, they wait him, they said, welcome to Canada. Then after that, they took him to house, they arranged house for him and for his family. He cannot do this alone. So Humanity Affairs helped him. He said they helped him in everything that from government paper, health card, and for bank account, for the children, school or benefit for the children. And he said about the job, they found for him job in 2 weeks. After 2 weeks he arrived, they helped him to find a job. This is important for him. He said when he was in Lebanon, he need a job. He want to.
وأود أن أشكر السيد ممتاز صاحب، هو من استقبلني في المطار أيضا. أيضا أشكره.
That's good. So he said, say special thanks for Mumtaz Sahib, that because he was
أحد الأشخاص
one from this group, and with him in the airport, and he said, welcome to Canada.
I think that's absolutely incredible. I think that one of the biggest fears that refugees have is how are we going to become independent once again after we come back. So that's amazing to find a job within 2 weeks of arriving. I can't even imagine that. It took me 7 years to graduate. So The last thing we'll just have some closing remarks for all of our panelists, I guess. Is there anything that you would like to say to our viewers? Any words of encouragement? Mumtaz Saib, if I could start with you.
Okay. My request to all viewers and listeners, please donate, because this is the incredible job that Humanity First is doing. The people who are coming, they have a lot of needs, lot of things that they have to do. So Humanity First needs your help. Please do so. That is my request.
Kazakh Saib.
So, you want-
Or actually, we'll ask Abdul Hakim Saib, and then you could. you have to speak regardless.
بعد مررت بهذه التجربة وجربت كيف هي يعني يكون نفع الفائدة. فيقولون هل يمكن من كلمة تريد أن توجهها للمشاهدين نصيحة أو تشجيع لهم فيما يتعلق؟
أود أن أقول أولا أن معظم أو كل العاملين في هذه الجمعية هم متطوعين، وأن الجمعية قائمة على تطوعهم.
First thing he said, he want to say a very important point that humanity first and humanity that all work like the volunteer. All work like the volunteer. So and this is important about humanity first.
أنهم متطوعين. أولادهم
ماذا أيضا؟
متطوعين. أيضا أود أن أوجه كلمة للأخوة العرب والسوريين الذين أتوا عن طريق الهومينتي فيرست بأن يساهموا ولو بأقل تقدير التبرع الشهري أو السنوي أو أي شيء، أو تبرع بقليل من وقتك لمساعدة هذه الجمعية، لنعطي القوة لهذه الجمعية لتستمر ولأن تنمو أكثر، لأنها تساعد بغض النظر عن الجنس، عن البلد، عن الدين، عن اللون، أنها تساعد كل الناس.
He want to say special for Arab and for Syrian that we help them to come here. That please help them money for the time to help become volunteer, for example. So he said, please do that.
All right.
هل من أمر آخر تريد أن تخبره؟
Is there anything that you would like to add quickly? Or okay, so I think Abdul Hakim Saib has stolen the words right from my mouth, and that time and your wealth, those are the two main ways that you can assist all of our refugee families that are coming to Canada. And so we would like to make this appeal to all of our viewers who are watching this. So as you might notice, there's a number on the screen. There's a 1-800 number that you can call, and you can donate or pledge to one of our 9 programs. There's also a WhatsApp number that you can text all of our, and one of our representatives will get back to you. There's also a QR code on the screen, and it'll take you straight to the donation page, or you could go straight to humanityfirst.ca, and you could donate to any one of our 9 programs. So with that said, we're going to wrap up this segment, and I would like to once again thank all the viewers. Jazakallah for joining us in this segment, and Jazakallah for generously donating to Humanity First and this wonderful cause all around the world. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.